I'm afraid that deep down, I'm really not a very good person. I'm selfish and self-centered. I'm judgmental and constantly think of how I'm better than whoever I meet. Unless they are better than me, then I'm a worthless piece of shit. I don't empathize with other people and try to understand where they are coming from and the entire life of experiences that made them think about things different than me. I don't take an interest in other people and have a hard time conversing unless it's something I'm interested in. Otherwise, it's unauthentic, supplicating responses to what they say. I get angry and resentful often. I put my wants ahead of everyone else. I feel so sad when I listen to you talk about making the world a more beautiful place and how all of these people you've surrounded yourself with are these giant, open, loving hearts. And I just don't feel like that's me at the core. And it hurts because I know that I can't fake it and try to belong because it can be sensed. And I'm going to be really alone and unhappy and never find a tribe of uplifting people to really be in communitas with. Help. Wow. Like, first of all, I hope you're listening to this because I hope I can talk to you directly rather than just the generalities, which I'm sure other people can identify with. But if you're listening, I want to just acknowledge and celebrate that level of vulnerability. Like, wow, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. And it is beautiful to be able to be that honest with yourself. That is something that very, very few people are able to do, to have that level of introspection. And, okay, you have that level of introspection, and clearly you have a desire to be different. A desire to be different. Wow. Wow. Like, that's impressive. And I'm not just fucking saying that, like, legitimately. Like, I'm impressed. Like, deep bow to you for opening that question. The idea that you are a fixed type of person, that you are this person or that person, is false. Nobody is a type of person. People, there's a quote from Rumi that I quote often, and it's, "You are not a drop in the ocean, you are the ocean in a drop." You are all people. Yes, that person that you described, yeah, you're that. Sure you are. And you're not. And you're me too. And you're everybody else who you think you're not, you're that person too. And that is actually who you are. You're identifying as this type of person now. But you can switch that identification. It's not that this is just who I am. I'm a machine and this is the type of machine. No. That's not how it works. You're everything. We're all everything. I am the person that you described. And I'm not. Because I'm neither. I'm all different types of people. I express in a certain way. You express in a certain way, but it's not who you are. And so know that there is nothing about everything that you described that is in a fixed position and is unchangeable. So why are you expressing in this way? Well, that becomes an interesting question. Of course, there's general reasons. There's certainly some shame, some self-judgment, some feeling of not being worthy of love, because ultimately, if you're not able to feel that you're worthy of love and really care for yourself in that way, it's going to be very difficult to care for others. Because if you're not worthy of love, and you don't have love inside you, then sharing the resonance and the frequency of love and care for other people is going to be very, very difficult. So it starts with a loving practice to yourself and understanding that you are not this person. You are expressing as this person. So what? I've expressed as a depressed person. I've expressed as a as a jealous person, certainly, you can ask Whitney about that. She probably doesn't want to talk about it, but you can ask her plenty about the times that I expressed as a jealous person. As an angry person, you can ask her that too. The jealousy and the anger were woven together, right? Like, does that mean that I'm depressed, jealous, and angry, and that's just who I am? No. It means I express that way for a time, for a season, for a moment. That's not who I am. But of course, I have all of those feelings. Have I been self-deprecating? Have I told myself that I'm a piece of shit? Yeah, I don't know, hundreds of times, maybe thousands. I had a huge breakthrough one day where I was driving home from a day at work, and I just said to myself, like, you're doing good, Aubrey. And I think I wrote about this in my book, Own the Day. It's like, you're doing good, man. You're doing good. And I just started weeping because I had never heard myself say that to myself. Never heard myself be like, hey, man, you're doing a good job, Aubrey. Aubrey, you're doing a good job. And still, I find myself needing to say that to myself. Like, Aubrey, you're doing good, man. Like, you're doing a good job. Like, good work. And so this kind of positive self-talk is really important, and we learn from the world of judgment, and we learn a lot of things about how we should judge ourselves and how we should remove love, and we have to rewrite those patterns. And so really what you're expressing is just the conditioning. It's just the conditioning that you have. But like anybody's conditioning in the gym, it can change. You can walk into On-It Gym and be a completely unconditioned athlete, and in a year of conditioning, you can be a beast because you're reconditioning yourself. It's the same with the psyche. Like it's like, oh, well, of course I could change my body. I get that, but I could never change my psyche. No, your body and your psyche are the same. If you can change your body, you can change your mind. Of course, everything is malleable. And so what is the reconditioning process that you need to go through? And that's really the question. What is your specific reconditioning process? I would say reading a book like Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It from Kamal Ravikant. That'd be a great book. Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz. That would be a great book. Obviously I have a lot of content on this as well. But anchoring this to a real practice would be really important. I think potentially some mentors or coaches could help guide you. If you're called to it, there's journeys and experiences from breath work, like what we do with Lucas Mack and Hella Weston, even Wim Hof breathing, whatever you're called to could really be of service. Ecstatic dance, psychedelic journeys, all of these things can really be helpful. But it's just the process of reconditioning and the deep understanding that you are not anything. You are a malleable piece of clay, and depending on the intention of how you sculpt it is what it will become, but it's always malleable. It's never baked in the kiln, right? You can always change. And so that's what I would offer you. But again, like the fact that you're able to ask this question and acknowledge this, to me, means that you're absolutely ripe and ready for reconditioning. Because the hardest thing is if someone is not aware of themselves at all and doesn't have a desire to change. If someone isn't aware and doesn't have a desire to change, like nothing you can do, just be yourself until they come to the point where you're at, and you're at the perfect point to really make these significant transformations in your life. So, I hope I run into you someday and you listen to this, and I hope it sparked something that sparked you on your journey. But I believe in you. And no matter everything that you said in this paragraph, I know you're not that person. I know it. And I don't need to know you to know that. I know that because I know myself and I know people. And that's a universal. And I know that you're a person. And if you're a person, then everything I said is true. So good luck, strength, and blessings on your journey, my brother.